Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health and well-being and sustainable development on occasion of World Social Work Month 2022 and World Health Month 2022, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and also International Conference on Social Work and Sciences towards One Health and Sustainable Development 2022 in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. So before we proceed to today's session, let's take blessings from the Almighty.
शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall proceed towards today's session by Mrs. Sunanda Ravi. She is founder and also psychologist of Manasa Shubhakara from Hyderabad. We welcome you, ma'am, for session on eco-anxiety. Over to you.
Thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity. Just a minute, I will share my PPT.
Yes.
PPT is visible, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Good evening, friends. Today I am going to share my knowledge on eco-anxiety, how we are facing due to environmental crisis, what are the mental health issues that we are going to see today. What is eco-anxiety? As per American Psychological Association, it's a chronic fear of environmental doom. In addition, 2020 studies published on environmental psychology summarizes negative emotion responses associated with the awareness of climate change that include cognitive and functional impairment factors. The same study also found higher levels of eco-anxiety among younger adults. Usually in Western countries, more than 70% US people are having this eco-anxiety. In youth, we can see then 51% they are not helplessness. Then I can term other parallel terms, climate change distress, then eco-trauma, eco-angst, and ecological grief. These are the different terms for eco-anxiety.
Can you make it full screen mode or slideshow mode?
Just a minute, sir.
Yeah, now it's fine. Please continue.
It's moving, sir. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's empty or absolute anger, then helplessness regarding climate change, then fear of environmental degradation, then rising teens, people wherever as the climate crisis worsens with little being done to fix it. Then some of the emotions, feelings that are close to eco-anxiety. When they are having eco-anxiety, they feel confused, some feeling of trauma, shock, then shame, excitement, expectations, then helplessness. These are the some of the psychological effects. The link between the motivation and practice of regular seen in the eco-anxiety experience that people some have strongly empathic dimensions of anxiety. Then what are the natural calamities we are facing nowadays? Floods, then forest fire, then sea level rising. These are the different components for this eco-anxiety. Air pollution, floods, hurricane, wildfire, then landslides. Then impact of climate change on human health. What are the impacts? Distribution to societal systems, then distribution to ecosystems. Due to this, human health will be affected by work capacity, conflict, then mental health illness, malnutrition. These are the physical symptoms. Then sickness, injuries, death from extreme events, storm surge, then other allergic form of asthma, food and water, insect-borne illnesses. When it rains more, mosquitoes will be more. Due to this, malaria, then waterborne diseases in that area will be affected. Impact of climate change on human health. They face trauma and shock, then post-traumatic stress disorder, then compounded stress, strains on social relationship, then depression. These are the effects on human psychological components. Damage due to social or infrastructural components such as food supply, medical services result in many acute causes. Psychological well-being in contrast to climate change, weather, then rising sea level will cause some of the chronic psychological consequences. Acute mental health effects, then severe weather, air pollution, change in vector ecology, then increasing allergens, water quality impacts, water and food supply impacts, then environmental degradation, extreme heat, severe weather. These are the climatic changes. Then innermost circle, we can see rising temperature, then sea level increase, then weather also we can see. Due to this, disturbance will be in environmental conditions. Due to this, human beings, they face anxiety, suicidal tendency, then subsistent abuse, aggression and violence. Whenever floods or natural calamity happens, they want to protect themselves. The behavior will be more aggressive and violent. Then loss of personal important places. When they are staying nearby a coastal area, sea level rise means they lost their home, and even sometimes fishermen also they face their livelihoods. Loss of anatomy and control, loss of personal and occupational identity, then feelings of helplessness, fear, fatalism, then eco-anxiety, which is also not considered a disease, as coined Australian philosopher Glenn Albert. It defines the set of psychological disorders that occur in a native population, destructive changes in their territory, whether as a result of activities or the climate. Due to climatic changes or activities, territory destruction will be happen. Native population will be affected due to this. What are the psychological changes that we are going to see? These are the physical, mental, and community health problems. When climate impacts on us, it may be air pollution or forest fires, rising sea level, then temperature increases, extreme weather phenomena. Without rain, regular rains, it may be drought also. It affects our physical, mental, and community health systems. Our physical activities will be affected, then increase in health, rise in allergies, increased exposure to waterborne diseases. Then mental health, already I told you, stress, anxiety, grief, feeling of loss, tension in social relation, then subsistent abuse, PTSD. These are the mental health issues. Then community, increased violence, increased social relations, then reduction of social cohesion. These are the community health. The fear of environmental damage or ecological disaster. This sense of anxiety is largely based on the current and predicted future state of environment and human-induced climatic change. Anxiety around environmental issues may stem from awareness of rising risk of extreme weather event, loss of livelihood or housing, fear of future generation, and feeling of helplessness. On my right, you can see a lady. She planted more trees in her area. I think she's from Karnataka. She received Padma Shri Award in 2019. We have to save our environment. For that, we are the response to protect our environment. We can plant more trees, sustainable products we can use. These we are going to see in our upcoming slides. Recent Chennai floods, 2015, these are the images. You can see flooded airport area, then roads also, it's looking like a river. Low-lying area will be flooded, and huts and slum area will be affected more. Then what is the reason for this floods? We all know low-lying areas and riverine areas. Nowadays, we are building up apartments without proper GHMC permission. Whenever floods occur or any natural disaster, that time only we can know where problem is there. That time only we can realize what is our mistake. Then 2020 Hyderabad floods. In roads, they are sailing boats. Then like a paper boat, cars are moving. Due to this, lot of mental health issues will affected in that area people. Then well-being, health also affected. After water drains, that area will be affected by drainage water, filled up, piled up lot of drainage sediments inside the house also. It will piled up. they have to remove or they have to do water wash, then only they can stay inside the home. These are all we can discuss in eco psychology. It's a new term in psychology. Nowadays in Western countries, they are focusing more on eco psychology to protect our environment as well as mental health issues. Ways to cope up with eco anxiety: identify and accept the condition, be busy on yourself and give back to the environment. Getting involved in climate activation can give you a sense of validation. Sign up for community action programs. It makes you accountable. Work on turning grief into action for positive outcomes. We have to accept and identify what are the conditions whenever it happens, natural disaster, that we have to accept it happened. For that, we cannot do anything. Just go through the channel and we can work it on in a positive way. Then be busy. Some activities we can engage ourselves. Then climate activism also we can do. We can sign up some local activities to make comfortable whoever affected in that area, that we can take part. Sense of safety and calmness, positive sense of self and sense of community efficacy, then connectedness, hope. Whenever they are affected by these natural calamities, we can work out on all these components. We can make a hope when they lost their loved ones or home. Immediately we can give them hope. We are there for you. Don't worry. Like that, we can give positive words to them for to come out of that situation. Then social connectivity. We the humans are social animals, so we have to make a connection with fellow human beings, our neighborhoods. Nowadays, we are totally stick on to social media. We avoid our neighbors. We have in social media, we have more than 1,000 friends. But when we have any unavoidable situations where we are there, we won't get help from neighbors, next door people also. Even they don't know also. That connectivity we have to make, that is more important here. Nowadays in Europe countries and the chief heat officer they are appointing. Whenever we are adventuring there, we can make a phone call to them. Today whether climate condition is good or how the temperature is there. In that way we can interact with that officer. Then any unavoidable situation is there, immediately they can find out what are the causes for heat more in that area or raining, that and all they can discover, they can work out on that. Chief officer is the new job description that popping up all over the world as climate change causes more and more heat waves and turns cities into a pressure cooker. It's like a pressure cooker. Recent study in Athens, 46.3 degrees Celsius, to suggest design changes such as creating tree canopies over pavement to increase shade over reduce it heat wave, creating air-conditioned hubs where people can cool off. Nowadays in North India, they are facing more than 42 degrees. Due to this sudden change in climate, they face a heat stroke. Due to this, they may face some of the physical health issues also. Endangered species. Due to this environmental conditions, I can give you two examples, sloth and proboscis monkey. These are endangered animals. This proboscis monkey is in Brunei, Indonesia. They stay in river and coastal forest. They eat tender leaves. Due to timber activity, it lost their homes, so it's became endangered animals. Then sloth also, tree dwellers, it spend most of the time by sleeping in trees. It eat leaves and twigs. It's where you can see in cartoon. Whenever kids are watching, you can see the sloth cartoon. It's very slow and lazy creature. It eats only, I think, vegetarian animal. Humans don't have the mental bandwidth to confront climate change, to boost self-resilience, fostering caring, trusting relationship, provide support, encouraging, not reviewing problems as unsolved, making achievable goals towards natural, looking at problems in a wider bandwidth, practicing good self-care and positive self-image, keeping personal connections and cultural ties whenever possible, avoiding isolation and trying to like-minded people. I can give you an example of this forum. Like-minded people, we are meeting together daily. We are sharing our knowledge to create awareness in society. In that way, we can interact in a positive way so that we can improve our self-care and we can improve our self-image to achieve our self-goals, trusting and fostering our relationship. The number of populations are especially vulnerable to the mental health effects of climate change, including people living in risk-prone areas, indigenous communities, some communities of color, then certain occupational groups with direct exposure. In this area, I can give you an example of fishermen, those who are staying in low-lying area, coastal areas, occupational groups that I mentioned here, those with existing disabilities or chronic illness, then other adults and women. Whenever this eco-anxiety affects, first the older people will affect, then women, children, because they most of the time they are staying at home, so they face more problems, mental health issues. Love yourself for others. How to heal when we affected this eco-anxiety? What are the ways to come out? These are the simple techniques to come out of that. Promote more peace and love in future. Work in a harmony to have a sustainable future. The more we listen to our body, it can participate in these movements. Act of self are so important. Spreading kindness and love is an essential line of work and activism. Love will allow us to care more about water system, forest, and will help guide us to collective liberation. What are the climate changing facts? When we are having problems in climatic change, what are the do's and don'ts? Due to industrialization, it creates a lot of pollution in it may be air pollution, noise pollution, then temperature will be raised, then ill health like asthma, allergic condition will be more. Then 90% of scientific believe that global temperature has, due to this industrialization, most of the major natural disasters of recent years can be tied to climate change. Then greenhouse effect is not necessarily a bad thing. Some of the factors I mentioned here, you can see this. Climate change in the animal world, even animal birds, they will affect due to this climate change. Then 2% of 2 Fahrenheit change in global temperature is enough to cause major changes on our earth. Then climate change will probably cause most of the deaths through deadly disease. I can give you example of cancer nowadays due to lot of pest and pollution. More and more cancer patients are there. When we go to hospital, better you go and have a look in cancer ward so that we can do daily yoga or any type of physical activities to protect us from that cancer. Simple pranayama also beneficial to overcome this cancer. Ozone hole has only minor effect on climate change. After this pandemic, lockdown and all, I think we can improve our environmental condition for some extent. Nowadays, ocean became a plastic soup. Who are going to beaches, just they will throw hiking and surfing. They just throw whatever they're carrying, plastic bags, eatables, everything they are throwing into the ocean. Due to this, lot of plastic fish and all marine use cloth shopping bags to avoid these plastic soup, metal or glass water bottles, then refuse single serving baggage, straws and other disposables. Carry reusable utensils in your bag or car. Replace sandwich bags with reusable lunch box and bag. Go digital, no need of CDs, DVDs, buy music and videos. Recycle, choose. When we see plastic bottles or plastic cups, we can see this PET, then HDPE. We can avoid such type of bottles. Reusable bottles we can use. Volunteer at a beach, clean up, Surfrider Foundation. Avoid single-use plastic. 12 million metric tons of plastic entered in ocean each year. Our oceans are slowly turned into a plastic soup. It chokes and affects tiny zooplankton to whales. From small tiny zooplankton to biggest animal is in ocean is whales. It affects both tiny organism to bigger one. Single plastic are filling up our landfills, choking our rivers contaminated to oceans. The billions of tons plastic corporation produce differs needed to sustain our planet. Climate risk, extreme events and related impacts. What are the climate risk it affects on our human health? 35 million people are affected due to floods, then ocean acidification, then wetland ecosystems. Due to this, more than 1,600 deaths are happening. Then internal displacement, global ocean oxygen, then 2 million people are displaced due to weather, climate disasters. More than COVID, recession, climate change is the more deadly factor in environmental crisis. Impacts on community and society, decreased sense of cohesion, disturbed sense of community, continuity and belonging, increased interpersonal aggression, abuse and crime, increased intergroup aggression, conflict and war. Sea level rise, marine species. You can see on my right, images are there, marine species, how it affects when it due to thermal expansion, water level will be raised. Inside the ocean, full of changes will occur. Sea level rise to by 0.20 between 1901 and 2018. Arunachal has 20 years plan to mitigate and minimize climate change impact. Relative to 1995-2014, the likely global mean sea level rise by 2100 will be 0.28 to 0.55 meters under a very low greenhouse gas emission scenario, and 0.98 to 1.88 meter under the very high scenario. IPCC has projected sea level around Asia and the North Indian Ocean has increased faster than global average, with coastal area loss and shoreline retreat. Regional mean sea level will continue to rise. Here, western side, Bombay, Navi Mumbai side, I can give you example of coastal area. Eastern side in Kolkata region. Then south side, I can give you example of Chennai. These are the areas when sea level will be increased to 0.22 also, lot of destruction will be happen. Due to global warming, we can see the image how it affects our daily livelihood. Future 2055, how world will be, that you can see in this image. To stop all these environmental crises, we have to reduce, reuse, recycle. Whatever we are using, we have to minimize that. Then avoid buying too much items. Think twice before buying anything, especially food item. Don't waste food items. Then always make a shopping list. Don't do temptation shopping. Then first in, first out. In fridge also, whenever we are piling up items, do it mindfully. When it is necessary, only store in fridge, or else we can use it immediately. Make neatly arrangement. Then we can buy local foods. This picture, circular economy, better service to extend lifespan, then collect to end of life manufacturing, recycle waste, reuse resources, then green products, non-toxic, long life recyclable, then cleaner production using fewer resources. Reduce your carbon footprint. Actions at home, small step also, it creates a lot of impact on our environmental system. We have to teach our kids what is recycling and carbon footprint, that small age itself we can teach our kids. Please avoid disposable cups, plates, use recycle plates and cups. That is good for our environment. Even plastic also, when we are cut our milk packet, when we throwing into dustbin, it will stuck inside a cow or some domestic animals. So be mindful while using plastic items. Understand family medications and their side effects, learn resilience interventions, action in the community, connect with family, friends, neighbors, and other groups to build strong social network, support clean energy to prevent further climate change, start a community resilience project. Wherever we are in a community or apartment, we can create this type of blue carbon footprint activity or something we can teach our kids. Weekends we can teach. We can make a community group so that we can 1 month we can create awareness in kitchen items. Then another time next month we can create according to the stationery items. In that way we can chunk our activities. We can teach our kids. Go green in your apartment. Just now I explained this. Change one light bulb to a compact fluorescent, recycle all glass, then turn off desktop computers whenever it is not required. Turn the lights off every time you leave. Make your cleaning supplies. Have a meatless Monday. Cook off with your kids. Even eating vegetables also, we are saving our environment. When we are eating more non-veg items, we are spoiling our environment. Have a craft day using only materials you have around the house. Whatever we are throwing our boxes or paper, that we can teach our kids craft items. Best out of waste, we can teach them. Then apartment 1 month at a time, one activity that we can teach. Each and every month we can make a protocol according to that. They can work it out. Then Earth Day, sustainable diet, making greener choice, including recycling and following sustainable diets such as eating less meat and dietary. Mental health professional can be identify the problems that concern the most and develop a plan. They can feel more in control of them. Then eco-mindful activities, deep breathing, then slow breathe through your nose, then breathe out through your mouth, making buzzing sound. Repeat it 2 or 3 times so that we can avoid that anxiety. What will happen or what is going to happen, that we can put a pause. Then head outside and appreciate clouds. Whenever we are usually in urban area, people, they won't go outside and they won't see whether it is sunrise or sunset also, they don't know. They'll switch on lights throughout the day. They will dwell inside only. Just go have a look outside and observe how the clouds are moving, then what are the shapes, color. These are the mindful activities we can do. When it rains, you can smell it, or when it is sunny, bright sign, that also good for your cornea. For eyes, it's good for sunlight. We can avoid some eye diseases when we go sunlight. Teaching kids some activities we can teach our kids to protect our environment. Cultivate activity and coping regulations, then sources of personal activities, boost personal preparations, then support social network, encourage connections through family, other role models, uphold connections, then maintain connections to one another. Then upcycle trash into eco bricks. I recently studied some article with waste PET bottles. They are making bricks and they can build in park or some garage area. They build up like eco bricks. You can see images right side. Collect your plastic waste at your home, car, in office. Clean and dry plastic wrappers, pack it before collecting. Cut the collected packets in small pieces and add to the bottle. Maybe 1 liter or according to your wish. You can fill solid items inside that bottle. Make a strongest one. Use a stick available at home to push down layers of plastic. Once a few eco bricks are ready, make a structure like a stool, bookshelf, or kennel. Yeah, save water, recycle, then sustainable activities. Do it mindfully. I hope I shared my knowledge to you, friends. Thank you, sir. Friends, you can
Yeah, good evening.
doubt you can interact with me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. It was a wonderful presentation. Actually, it's the need of the hour. We are talking so many things, but the basic things we are still consciously not practicing them. Like many things, this plastic pollution, it has gone beyond. The recent theme for the World Ocean Day is also restoring oceans because they, that pollution has gone beyond restoration. So
Yes.
these are various things that are happening in day-to-day life also. We are carrying a lot of these carry bags and all other things. No? So these are also creating a lot of pollution. Though they doesn't cost much, even 100 pack will not cost at least not more than, if that is smaller size, 10-15 rupees. But for to get that plastic to be degraded, it takes millions of years. That we are not very conscious. We are thinking what we are thinking, it is easy to carry and it is very cheaper, and we are using it, throwing it like anything. And in the COVID time, we have created so much bio waste, so much plastic waste, this PPE and these disposable gloves and whatnot. We have entire what we were doing these years, those entire efforts were somewhere due to this pandemic. We had accumulated so much of waste, and that created a lot more problems now on the earth. So these things now we all need to be very conscious, as you have explained. These small things, but they are adding a great
Impact on
impact
environment.
on
Yeah.
climate, and so it's really wonderful. So participants, if you have any queries or clarification, observations, comments, you can raise your hand. I saw someone raised hand, but okay. Feel free to discuss. You can put in chat box also, or you can unmute yourself. If you are unable to unmute yourself, you can raise your hand. I can do it from my side. If there are no queries, or comments or observations, can we assume so with the silence? Yeah, Manisha ji, बोलिए. Yeah, Manisha, do you have any observation? You have unmuted yourself.
I think she unknowingly
Yeah.
muted.
Okay. So it was nice presentation. In fact, that is this climate change is affecting everyone. There is no one who has been untouched with this climate change. In fact, more than anything else that is troubling the planet is climate change now. So there need to be a lot of presentations and deliberations on these because we can see a lot of changes are occurring on the planet and everyone is getting affected. So this is going to be the immediate need or the immediate current trending topic or research that needs to be widely taken up, and we are happy to see even in health sciences and allied health sciences also more and more specializations are coming, and you have taken last time also related to environment, and this is very nice to see. Even our fraternity is also coming up with various topics and therapies. That is good to see. We are conscious towards environment and our planet.
Yeah, true, sir. Ecotherapy and eco anxiety and all in eco psychology, new branch, upcoming branch.
We can organize few workshops for our psychologist or psychology students also.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure,
in
sir.
coming days.
Yeah, we can do that, sir. It's our pleasure. Creating awareness in our society.
We can do is if you are available this Sunday also we are having a workshop.
Okay, sir.
One thing is that CV we are continuing every Sunday because many are having trouble, and I am also part of recruitment panels of various organizations.
Okay.
So I also see that many people are struggling without proper CVs. So we continue, and we have this emotional intelligence also as part of this Sunday. We have a panel of speakers. Panel discussion is there, and next we are having this CV workshop also. If we can come up with some kind of workshop on this environment related,
Sure, sir. We can do that.
yeah, we will put in that.
Yeah.
You can unmute yourself, and lot of appreciation in chat box. Okay, then there are no queries. Then I have one query, not query. It's like one observation or a suggestion. Like how we have seen a lot of calamities recently. Also, you have very well portrayed this recent Kerala floods. Every year it is coming, and two times I was there when Kerala floods were there. I was there one time. I was there in Enhance only, Kerala. So when floods were there, so other time I was there in Kerala when floods were there, and Chennai also. I just came back from Chennai, and after that, after 1 week, it was these floods, and it was almost 1 week, 10 days. This entire city was in water.
Sure, sir. We can do workshops whenever it needs. It's my pleasure, sir. On ecotherapy and eco psychology, we can do that. We can create awareness. I think till now I am in mute. I did not notice that.
So, yeah, Manisha, you have something to say? this is a problem when we leave mic permissions open. Okay. Okay, thank you once again, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. We need more such presentations from different walks of life and different disciplines also. It's a need of our. And, thank you once again for joining our platform and contributing to the wonderful webinar series.
Thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity. Thank you, friends, for patient listening.
We thank everyone on behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation India, Sri Research Institute and Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing for joining us this international webinar series on holistic health, well-being and sustainable development. Feedback form is being shared in chat box. Kindly fill up the feedback form before leaving the webinar. Feedback link has been shared in the chat box. We see many people are asking for feedback form in spite of keeping the meeting open for 10-15 minutes also. So kindly be attentive. We will not be sharing feedback links anywhere in WhatsApp or Telegram, anywhere. So because we will also be not having this link with us. So it will be in the system, and once this meeting is closed and we will also be away from system, it would be not possible also, even if you ask for. So kindly fill up the feedback form. It's available in the chat box, and the meeting will be on for another 5 minutes for you to fill up the feedback form. So kindly fill up the feedback form. It is mandatory, and also join Facebook group and also Telegram channel. We'll be posting the certificate download links. We have started processing the certificates, and the entire April month we have issued all the Sunday webinars. We have issued certificates to the speakers. We have completed entire April month, and for this international webinar series, we will be issuing maybe in coming days. We started processing certificates. So for participants, it will take another 1 week after issuing to all the speakers. Then we will start processing for participants also. So by this month end, we will be completing all the pending certificates, and from next month you will be receiving regularly within 15 working days. You will be receiving, because of a lot of continuous work, and signature also was delayed, so we couldn't process it. So this by this month end, we will be completing all the pending work, and you will be receiving certificates as you were receiving earlier in time. Kindly join this Facebook group as well as Telegram channel. DB Jain, Radha Kishan Tagad, Srija Bhattacharya, you are not connected to audio. Can you listen to me? Can you hear me? Without joining, connecting to audio, you will be not able to listen. So whoever is joining, after joining, by default, if you are not getting connected, you can connect to audio. Otherwise, you will be just able to see the visuals. Kindly fill up the feedback form. We'll be ending the meeting in 2 minutes.